Good morning, students. See, in the last class, we were discussing about SN1 and SN2 mechanisms. See, tertiary alkyl halides undergo SN1 mechanism to form, for example, tertiary butyl chloride or tertiary butyl bromide. When reacts with aqueous solution of potassium hydroxide or sodium hydroxide, we are going to get tertiary butyl alcohol, and the mechanism is SN1 mechanism. It means unimolecular nucleophilic substitution. That is, the rate of this reaction depends only on the concentration of alkyl halide, and it is independent of concentration of nucleophile taken. Is it right? And it is a two-step mechanism. It is a two-step mechanism. First step is ionization of tertiary butyl bromide into tertiary butyl carbocation, tertiary butyl carbocation and bromide ion. It is a slow step and rate determining step. This first step is slow step, and hence it determines the rate of the reaction. It controls the rate of the reaction. Is it right? See, the second one is attack of nucleophile OH minus on the tertiary butyl bromide, tertiary butyl carbocation to form tertiary butyl alcohol. Tertiary butyl alcohol. Is it clear? See, these are the two steps involved in this reaction. Coming to SN2 mechanism. SN2 stands for bimolecular nucleophilic substitution. Bimolecular nucleophilic substitution. See, it means here the rate of reaction depends upon concentration of the alkyl halide as well as concentration of the nucleophile taken. See, in the last class, in the yesterday's class, we have seen rate is equal to K into concentration of alkyl halide to the power 1 and concentration of OH minus to the power 1. Is it right? So therefore, we call it as bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. And as we have seen, the order of reactivity of various alkyl halides, that is primary alkyl halide, secondary alkyl halide and tertiary alkyl halide. In case of SN2 mechanism, in case of SN2 reaction, primary alkyl halides are more reactive than secondary alkyl halides. Secondary alkyl halides are more reactive than tertiary alkyl halides for SN2 reaction. Whereas when you come to SN1 reaction, tertiary alkyl halides are more reactive than secondary alkyl halides. Secondary alkyl halides are more reactive than primary alkyl halides. Is it right? This already we have seen with examples. And here one more thing, in the examination you might be asked to write differences between SN1 reaction and SN2 reaction, or SN1 mechanism and SN2 mechanism. Is it right? The first difference, see, first difference, SN1 means unimolecular nucleophilic substitution. In case of SN2, you have to write it in the tabular form. In SN2 mechanism column, it is bimolecular nucleophilic substitution. Is it right? Then here SN1 mechanism involves two steps. SN1 mechanism involves two steps, whereas SN2 reaction involves only one step. SN2 reaction involves only one step. Second difference. Is it right? Then coming to third one, that is order of reactivity of various alkyl halides. Order of reactivity of various alkyl halides. In case of SN1 column, what you have to do? Tertiary alkyl halides are more reactive than secondary alkyl halides. Secondary alkyl halides are more reactive than primary alkyl halides. Whereas on the another column, SN2 reaction column, what you have to write down? SN1 reaction, these primary alkyl halides are more reactive than secondary alkyl halides. Secondary alkyl halides are more reactive than tertiary alkyl halides. Is it right? Then solvent used. Fourth difference. See, as we have seen, SN1 reaction, first step is ionization of alkyl halide. Ionization of alkyl halide to form carbocation and halide ion. So for this ionization step, we require polar solvent. It means SN1 reaction is favored. SN1 reaction is favored by polar solvent. Whereas in the case of SN2 reaction or SN2 mechanism, there is no ionization. So therefore, it is favored by non-polar solvent. SN2 reaction is favored by non-polar solvent. SN1 reaction is favored by polar solvent. Is it right? Then last one, concentration of the nucleophile. Concentration of the nucleophile. Here in case of SN1 reaction, even weak nucleophiles react with alkyl halide to form the alcohol. Whereas in case of SN2, we require strong nucleophiles. Strong nucleophiles. Is it right? See, this is regarding differences between SN1 and SN2 reactions. Is it clear? Now, here on the board you might be seeing that stereochemical aspects of SN1 and SN2 reactions. So, what is the stereochemical aspect? See, in the first year, you were supposed to study what? The isomerism. That portion was deleted. That portion was deleted because of the availability of short period. Is it right? ಕಡಿಮೆ ಅವಧಿ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಈ ಐಸೋಮೆರಿಸಮ್ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂತ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಆದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಬೀಳ್ತೈತೆ ಅದು ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡೋಣಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರ ಐಸೋಮೆರಿಸಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ, ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಐಸೋಮರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ, ಆ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಐಸೋಮರ್ಸ್ ಫರ್ದರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನೋಡಿ. ಐಸೋ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಸೇಮ್, ಐಸೋ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಸೇಮ್, ಮೆರೋಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್. So isomers means these are the compounds or the molecules having same parts. Same parts. Hangandre ಏನು molecular formula same, molecular formula same, but they show different properties. But they show different properties. Such compounds are called as isomers. Such compounds are called as isomers, and the phenomenon is called as isomerism. Isomerism. One simple example ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. See, C2H6O. ಇದು molecular formula. ಎರಡು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಅದಾವ, 6 ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಅದಾವ, 1 ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಐತಿ. ಈಗ ಇದನ್ನ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಬರೆಯಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ C2H5OH ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್. ಇದು ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಹೌದಾ? ಎರಡು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಆಟಮ್, 6 ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್, 1 ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಆಟಮ್. ಈಗ ಎರಡು ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಆಟಮ್ ಬರೀ hydrogen ಇಲ್ಲಿ 5 plus 1 6 ಆತು, 1 ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಐತಿ. ಬಟ್ if you write like this one, it is called as alcohol. It is called as alcohol. Is it right? Ethyl alcohol ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. Then another way, CH3O, CH3. How many number of carbon atoms are there? Here also there are 2 carbon atoms. How many number of hydrogen atoms are there? 3 plus 3, 6 hydrogen atoms. How many number of oxygen atoms are there? 1 oxygen atom. So therefore, formula of these two are same. C2H6O. But this compound we call it as ether. Ether. ಯಾವುದು? di-2. di ಹೌದಾ? dimethyl, methyl, dimethyl ether, dimethyl ether. So ಇದು alcohol compound, ethyl alcohol, ಇದು ether compound, ether compound. ಎರಡಕ್ಕೂ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಸೇಮ್ ಇದೆ. Then we call such compounds as isomers. Such compounds as isomers. You have the isomers ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ these are functional isomers. Functional isomers ಅಂದ್ರೆ two compounds having same molecular formula but differ in their properties due to the presence of different functional groups. Due to the presence of different functional groups. ಇಲ್ಲಿ functional group OH, alcoholic group. ಇಲ್ಲಿ functional group oxygen, ether functional group ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So ಎರಡು ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಸೇಮ್ ಐತಿ, ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ಯಾವ. ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ because they possess different functions. Is it right? One more thing. See, C4H10. C4H10. Butane. But how to write this butane? You may write it like this one: CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. All the 4 carbon atoms are in straight line. All the 4 carbon atoms are in straight line. But if you write it like this one, CH3, CH, CH3, then CH3. So what happened? Here there is a branch. Here there is a branch. How many number of carbon atoms are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it right? Here also 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbon atoms. Huh? What about the number of hydrogen atoms? 3 plus 2, 5. 5 plus 2, 7. 7 plus 3, 10. Here, what about this one? 3 plus 1, 4. 4 plus 1, 3. 4 plus 3, 7. 7 plus 3, 10. So, same number of carbon atoms and same number of hydrogen atoms. But arrangement of the carbon atoms is different. Arrangement of the carbon atoms is different. So, therefore, we call this as normal butane, N-butane. Normal means straight. It is or simply in IUPAC system. What is the name of this compound? It is named as simply butane. It is butane. What about this one? It is named as 2-methyl. On the second carbon atom there is a methyl group as a substituent. And this is the parent carbon chain having 3 carbon atoms. So therefore, root word is prop. All are single bonds. So therefore, primary suffix is ane. Hence, name of the compound is propane. Is it propane? No, because on the second carbon atom there is a methyl group as a substituent group. So therefore, we name it as dimethyl. 2-methyl propane. 2-methyl propane. Is it right? See, property of this compound and property of this compound are different. Is it right? And these are called as chain isomers. These are chain isomers because there is difference in the arrangement of carbon atoms in the chain. There is a difference in the arrangement of carbon atoms in the chain. So therefore, they are called as chain isomers. Is it clear? Now let me come to another one. Here, C3H8O. C3H8O. So what it is? Now let me write CS3, CH2, CH2, OH. Then another one is CH3, CH, CH3, OH. So look into number of carbon atoms, number of hydrogen atoms, and number of oxygen atoms. C3. So therefore 1, 2, 3 carbon atoms. H8, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 2, 7, 7 plus 1, 8. Right? Then here also 1, 2, 3 carbon atoms. 8 hydrogen atoms. Oxygen here also 1, here also. But what is the difference? What do you find? Here in the first compound, the functional group OH is present on the first carbon atom. So you have to number the carbon chain from the side, where functional group is present. Or you may say, you have to give the lowest possible number to the carbon atom on which functional group is present. So therefore, we have to number it from right to left. Is it right? When you come to this second one, 1, 2, 3. So in the second compound, functional group is present on the second carbon atom or middle carbon atom in this case. Then such type of isomers are called as positional isomers. What do you mean by positional isomers? They are the compounds having same molecular formula but differ in their properties due to the difference in the position of functional group. Difference in the position of functional group. Functional group the position change agaydi, properties change agtava. They are called as positional isomers. These are all structural isomers. These are all structural isomers. Compounds having same molecular formula but differ in their properties due to different structures. Due to different structures. Basic idea. So this you were supposed to study in PUC first year, but because of shortage of time, some part of the portion was deleted, and this was that part. Is it right? Now coming to the second one, stereoisomers. Here, stereoisomers. What are stereoisomers? And stereoisomerism. Stereoisomerism. See, compounds having same molecular formula and same structural formula. Is it right? Molecular formula no same, structural formula no same. But still then they differ in their properties. They differ in their properties. They are called as stereoisomers. Stereoisomers. It is because of difference in the spatial. Notice. Spatial. It is not special. Spatial, in the space. It is because of difference in the spatial arrangement of atoms or group of atoms. With simple example, I will explain this one. See, you have but 2E. But 2E means what? See, here. Carbon, double bond, carbon. Is it right? So on this also, let me write 2 empty valencies. Here also, let me write 2 empty valencies. Is it right? Now, in the same way, let me write carbon, carbon, double bond with 2 empty valencies on both the carbon atoms. Both the carbon atoms. So why I have written this one? Because they are having same molecular formula. C4H8. Formula is same. Here we have written only 2 carbon atoms. Other 2 I have to write. So here also I have written 2 carbon atoms. Other 2 I have to write. Is it right? So therefore, molecules having same molecular formula, same structural formula, but differ in their properties, due to different spatial arrangement of atoms or group of atoms. Then let us see what is that difference in the spatial arrangement of atoms or group of atoms. See here, let me write CH3, here H, here H. Have you got it? How many number of carbon atoms are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many number of hydrogen atoms are there? 3 plus 3, 6, 6 plus 1, 7, 7 plus 1, 8. So therefore, C4H. Is it right? Then let me come to here. CH3, H. Same thing. 4 carbon atoms, 8 hydrogen atoms, 1 double bond. Here also, there also. Is it right? So what is the difference? Here, if you draw a line which divides the molecule into 2 equal parts. Now here, what will happen? Identical atoms or group of atoms are on the one side of double bond. You know, one side. It's a double bond. Okay? ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ನೋಡಿ CH3 CH3. ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಏನವ HH. So if you come to the second molecule, second structure is same. There is no change in the structure, but arrangement of atoms or group of atoms in the space, that is different. So therefore here identical groups CH3 CH3 or identical atoms H and H, they are opposite across the double bond. They are opposite across the double bond. So therefore such type of isomers are called as geometrical isomers because they differ in the geometrical isomers. This is called as cis. Cis means same. Cis bute 2E. Whereas this is called as trans. Trans means opposite. Trans bute 2E. Trans bute 2E. Geometrical isomers. They come under stereoisomers. Stereoisomers means the properties are different. Properties are different due to different spatial arrangement of atoms or group of atoms. Why they show different properties? Because restricted rotation about double bond. Restricted rotation about double bond. See, look. See here. If you take, see, take an example. Let me explain. See here. ಇದನ್ನ ನೋಡಿ, ಇದು ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಇದೆ ಹೌದ್ರೆ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ನಾನು? ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೊಟೇಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್. ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತೈತ್ರಿ? ರೊಟೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಇದನ್ನ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಹಿಂಗ ಅಥವಾ ಹಿಂಗ ರೊಟೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಹೌದಾ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಡಬಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್, ಡಬಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ರೊಟೇಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್? ನೋಡ್ರಿ. ಸೊ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ರೊಟೇಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್? No, it is not possible. Rotation, free rotation about the carbon-carbon double bond is not possible. Free rotation about carbon-carbon double bond is not possible. So that is what we call it as restricted rotation. Restriction idelle. Rotation free ಆಗಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. Restricted rotation about carbon-carbon double bond. That makes the molecule to have different properties. Is it right? So this is a geometrical isomerism. Another one that comes under stereoisomerism. Now one more thing. Then what we are going to study now, that is optical isomerism. See, now today's point of discussion is optical isomerism. And what are optical isomers? Stereochemical aspects of SN1 and SN2 reactions ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತ ಡೆಫಿನಿಷನ್ಸ್, ಟರ್ಮಿನಾಲಜಿ ಏನದಾವು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಲರ್ನ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್. See, first thing is ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ the compounds having same molecular formula and same same structural formula, structural formula, structural formula, but differ in the direction of rotation, direction of rotation of plane of polarized light, plane of polarized light are called as optical isomers, and the phenomenon is called as optical isomerism. See, what are optical isomers and what is optical isomerism? Compounds means two or more, is it right? Compounds having same molecular formula, same structural formula, same molecular formula and same structural formula, but differ in the direction of rotation of plane of polarized light. Direction ಗೊತ್ತಾಕತಿ, rotation ಗೊತ್ತಾಕತಿ, ಹೌದಾ? Plane ಅಂದ್ರೂ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು, of polarized light, plane of polarized light are called as optical isomers and the phenomenon is called as optical isomerism. So what is the next definition? What is polarized light? What is polarized light or plane polarized light? See, plane polarized light. See, suppose if you take ordinary beam of light or ordinary ray of light, ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಈಗೇನು ಲೈಟ್ ಹಚ್ಚೋರಿ, ಈ ಲೈಟ್ ತೆಗೆದು ಒಂದು ಬೆಳಕಿನ ಕಿರಣವನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡು ಬಿಡಿ. ಬೆಳಕಿನ ಕಿರಣ, ray of light or beam of light, is it right? See, that is having its plane of vibration in all possible directions. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ, ಲೈಟ್ ವೈಬ್ರೇಷನ್ ಹಿಂಗೂ ಕಾಣ್ತತಿ, ಹಿಂಗೂ ಕಾಣ್ತತಿ, ಹಿಂಗೂ ಕಾಣ್ತತಿ, ಈ ರೀತಿನೂ ಐತಿ, ಈ ರೀತಿನೂ ಐತಿ, ಇನ್ ಆಲ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬೇಕಾದಂಗೆ. See, that is what we call as ordinary ray of light. Let me draw the, see, this is ordinary ray of light. This is ordinary ray of light. See, like this one. This is ordinary ray of light having its plane of vibrations in all possible directions. Now we have to pass this ordinary ray of light through Nichols prism. See, this is what I call it as a Nichols prism. What is that Nichols prism antandra? calcite crystal. Calcite crystal. Calcite crystal. So what is that calcite crystal? It is a special type of calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate. Calcite crystal. So what you have to do? You have to cut that calcite crystal about its internuclear axis. About its internuclear axis. See, this is calcite crystal like this. Either the internuclear axis is cut model. You have to cut it like this. You have to cut it like this. Cut model. Yeah, back. Again, you have to join them. What you have to join model? Using Canada blossom as adhesive. Okay? Canada blossom as adhesive. Adhesive ಅಂದ್ರೆ see gum. Adhesive ಅಂದ್ರೆ gum. Calcite crystal ಐತಿ. ಹೌದಾ? ಅಥವಾ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. See, you have to cut it like this. ಇದನ್ನ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಹೌದಾ? ಎರಡು ಭಾಗ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಎರಡು ಭಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ಹೌದಾ? ಆ ಗಮ್ ಯಾವುದು ಕೆನಡಾ ಬ್ಲಾಸಮ್ ಅಂತ ಗಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹಚ್ಚಿ ಅಂಟಿಸಬೇಕು. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ? ನಿಕೋಲ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಿಸಮ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಏನು ಆರ್ಡಿನರಿ ರೇ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಐತಿ ಅದರ ಏನು ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಆಫ್ ವೈಬ್ರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅದಾವ. ಇದು ನಿಕೋಲ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಿಸಮ್ ನಿಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಕೋಲ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಿಸಮ್ ನಿಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬಂತಂದ್ರೆ emerging light. So this is having a plane of vibration in only one direction. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಟ್ ಒಂದು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ plane of vibration ಉಳಿದಿರ್ತೈತಿ. ಇನ್ನು ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗಿರ್ತವ. And this is what we call as plane polarized light. This is called as plane polarized. Is it right? So let us see how we are going to get a plane polarized light. An ordinary ray of light. Ordinary ray of light. Ray of light having its vibrations in all possible directions. In all possible directions and passed through Nichols prism. Nichols prism, comma, emerging ray of light. Emerging ray of light. Emerging ray of light. Emerging ray of light having vibrations in only one plane. In only one plane. One plane is called as plane polarized light. Plane polarized light. That is what we call as plane polarized light. Is it right? See, now some of the compounds in the solution or in a say solutions of some organic compounds. Solutions of some organic compounds have the ability called as optical activity. Is called as optical activity, and the compound is called as optically active compound. Is it right? See, the ability of some compounds in the solution ability of some compounds in solution to rotate plane of polarized light either towards left or right. Ability of some compounds in solution to rotate plane of polarized light either towards left or right is called as optical activity. And the compound is called as optically active compound, and the compound is called as optically active compound. ಯಾವ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪೋಲರೈಸ್ಡ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ರೈಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಆಗಲಿ ರೊಟೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ ನಾವು ಆಪ್ಟಿಕಲಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. ಆಪ್ಟಿಕಲಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ compound. Is it right? Then here this optical activity, the optical activity is detected and measured by using polarimeter. Here, that polarimeter is available with your physics, physics department. Physics department ದಾಗ ನೀವು ಸಿಂಗೇಶ ಸರ್ ಕೇಳಿ ಏನಂತಾರೆ, ಸರ್ polarimeter ಯಾವುದು ತೋರಿಸಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. They will show. ಆಯ್ತಾ? See, polarimeter, what is that? It is an instrument to detect and measure the optical activity. See, optical activity is detected and measured. Just angle measurement of rotate of measured by using polarimeter. Is it right? Then here you have come across that this plane of the polarized light is rotated either towards left side or towards right side. Then we are going to have again two types of compounds, optically active compounds. One is dextro-rotatory compound and another one is leo-rotatory compound. So, what are dextro-rotatory compounds? The compounds which rotate the compounds which rotate plane of polarized light towards right side. ಬಲಗಡೆ ಯಾವ ತಿರುಗಿಸ್ತಾವ್ರಿ ಅವು ಡೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೋ ರೊಟೇಟರಿ, ಎಡಗಡೆ ಯಾವ ತಿರುಗಿಸ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ ಅವು ಲಿಯೋ ರೊಟೇಟರಿ. See, the compound, the optically active compound, optically active compound, which rotates plane of polarized light towards right side is called as dextrorotatory compound. Dextrorotatory compound. See, in the same way you may write leo-rotating compound here itself. I will change the optically active compound which rotates plane of polarized light towards left side is called as leo-rotatory compound. Leo-rotatory compound. Is it right? See, dextrorotatory compound ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ ಮತ್ತೆ leo-rotatory compound ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ, that we have see. Is it right? Remaining thing we will discuss tomorrow. Thank you.